Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, we're taking all this stuff and we're gonna go back and we're gonna remember the rows that I did. We're gonna try and do that again, but with better technique and better idea of what I'm doing. Roll intro. How the hell did you manage that? In all honesty, I have no idea. Okay, so let's jump straight into it. What we have here is some of the old bits of metal that I used for welding practice. We have the spikes that were from a cage. We've got the grinder, and we're gonna make some cuts with this. It's not straight, the circles are not straight, and the petals are not straight, or the leaves are not straight. But I believe that adds character. So I'm just gonna go with it, see what happens, and we'll get to cutting. Right, let's make a start. So the initial plan is cut this down so it's easy to manage. So I'm not working with big pieces. And try and get it to the right size. So we'll see how that goes. First manageable piece. Oh, that piece there. Right. So we've got them partially cut out. I'm going to get to the big piece now, get them cut out, and yeah, we can look about tidying it up after that. Okay, so please ignore the nerdy safety glasses like I said. We have them cut out. They are not cut out to... It's a bit hot. They're not cut out perfectly. I do need to trim them down and get them looking right. So I'll crack on with that. I'm probably going to use the grinder for the big chunks, possibly pull the Dremel back out for the little ones, but we'll see how it goes. I think I did say when I was originally going to remake this, I was going to use thinner metal. Because this stuff is crazy thick, so it's going to be very difficult to get it how I want it to go. But we're not going to give up, we're going to keep trying. And I'm going to get these all chopped up and good to go. Okay, so behind me you can see a big pile of chopped up chunks of metal. We also have cut down these, which in all hopes and purposes will be the stems. So the next part I'm going to actually work on is the stems because they would be the easiest part. Okay, so what I've decided with these, I need obviously a stem. So my intention was to take these and use a drill to spin and twist them. And I did that, and it has kind of done what I needed it to do. It did end up snapping off because this stuff's super thin, super brittle. So it's not the best of stuff, but I don't know, it seemed to have turned out okay. So what I'll do is I'll do the other ones and see if we can get some stems together. Try it with this. These are a bit thicker. See, this is the problem, it's super thin. So getting ones that actually hold together isn't turning out to be easy enough. I'll get it with some of them eventually. I mean, we've got a partial. And there we have the knotted and twisted stem. That's alright, happy with that. Anyway, I'll crack on and make another one. Hopefully we'll end up with 3. Okay, so I have 3 stems. They are a bit short in comparison to what I was hoping for. But, as you can see, the amount of bits that just kept snapping, it was becoming more work than was necessary. If these weren't second hand, they weren't too thin, they weren't already rusted, they probably would have done a better job. But now we're on to this. So obviously this needs trimming down a lot more. But what I need to do is I need to create the grooves in, and then I need to drill the hole. So we'll get to that now. Now we'll drill a hole. Let's go. And we're through. Now I've just got to hope that this will fit. Might be a bit tight, but I think, hey! Perfect. So as you can see, we now have the hole where the stem will go through. We've cut the grooves in. Again, this hole needs tidying up. But I wanted to just make sure all the parts fit together before I finished cutting up. I finished getting to the welding part and go on with that. So for now, it's all looking well. I'll get the rest of these chopped up, trimmed down and sorted. Okay, so we have them cut out, drilled. We've added the petals. We've got the stem. We have the welder out. Whether this is going to work is predominantly down to how much this can take heat-wise. I don't think it's going to be a right lot, but I'm hoping that it works out. But we're all set up. I'm just going to go have something to eat and then crack on with this once I get back. Crack on. Welding mask in place. Gloves. Get the job done. Okay. First bit on. I knew didn't see that coming. It's a lesson learnt. Don't use thin metal or whatever that is. I'm assuming, I don't know if it's even, it might even be aluminium. I might have just melted it. Would have been really cool, but sadly that's not worked out how I wanted it to. So it's back to the drawing board. Let's see what we can kind of come up with in place of that to make a stem. Okay, so while we may have had to sacrifice the rose stem because I don't have anything at the moment that can create a stem, We've gone for trying to just get the petal in the right way. So I've drilled the M6 holes. They're all fastened through together. Now it's kind of time to attempt to... I'm probably going to try and fasten this on. Probably, I know it's painted, so welding onto it's probably not going to work, but we're going to try anyway, and then we can look to start putting this together and start the bending process to make the petal. So let's crack on with that. It turns out the welder was better than I gave it credit for, and it actually managed to make it through the paint and sealed it all. So that is going to cool down, and then we're going to get to the next process, which is forming the petal. So basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the new propane torch, heat up the metal, and hopefully using some brute strengthened pliers and stuff, we can kind of start to shape it into a petal. So we'll see how that goes. Right, so we got it up. I know it's probably stupid not to wear the gloves, but I can't get the strength on it that I need to. I mean, that's first part, but see how the rest goes. As you can see, we've got the first part there. Now I need to crack on, get the rest of these folded up, and see how we go. Last piece. So this is going to take a bit more time. So yeah, but I'll just show you what we've got and then potentially give you the big reveal. Heat up, bend, hit with a hammer, hope for the best. And we'll see what it turns out like on the next clip. Enjoy. There we have it. That is how you make a rose head for a full rose project. So in doing this, I've learned a few things. So when I first set out, I used a single piece of this stuff, and I just welded bent petals to it. I didn't use any fire, I didn't use any propane torch, I just welded bent shapes to a piece of metal, and it looked okay. It was quite well put together. However, we now actually have the proper rose head shape. The other part that I learned obviously was the stem. So to make the stem, I need to work on that, but I do want this kind of twisted effect for the rose. So I need to kind of work out how to make that work. But when I do, because this is obviously the second time I've attempted this, the third attempt will be with better stuff. I'll make sure that I've got the right metals. This was good, but the metal I'm using is like 3mm thick. So it's harder to bend, it's harder to shape, it's harder to cut. So you can't get the crisp lines and stuff. So all in all, I think it's been a success. Yeah, okay, maybe it's not full rose, but I am happy with how it's turned out. The next bit will be attempting to make one fully that's a proper rose, and I'll probably try and make a few of them out of it. So we might have a bunch of roses in the next video, but I'm happy with how that turned out. So yeah, thank you for coming and watching the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. Obviously, if there's techniques that you would have used if you've done it in the past, let me know in the comments, and maybe we can improve this rose together and get the full product in the end. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you on the next one. Take care. I don't know why I'm so gassy.